Yo, it's me, Tony. Come inside of me. Today is Wednesday. It's dry hump day. I want to talk about impotency today, but not the kind of impotency you think. We're not just going to talk about bonairs, whether or not blood engorges a penis, because that is what happens with a bonaire. The way a bonaire works, in case you did not know, is the penis is so relaxed that it is then filled with blood. And it is the blood that gives it the impression of being quote unquote hard, but it's not hard at all. It's actually the most relaxed it ever is. Isn't that interesting? It's like birth. Birth has the reputation of being very hard, which it is, but ultimately it's the most profound relaxation because you just have to open up your body slash cervix slash vagine slash pelvis. And then when you are fully open and relaxed, the bebe is spouted from you. It is ejected from you. It's spawned from you. It is ricocheted out into the cosmos. So birth, relaxation, bonaire, relaxation, impotency. Why are we talking about it? Because we are a culture that is fully experiencing spiritual, emotional impotency because there is this cultural narrative of what can I do? What can I do about a genocide? What can I do about pedo, Jeffrey Epstein, Johnny Cochran? what an unfortunate name. I never even thought about it. No, not that guy. Donnie Trump, okay? What are we gonna do about pedo? What are we gonna do about genocide? What are we gonna do about ICE? And there's this feeling of like powerlessness, hopelessness, and it's pushed on us, this narrative. It is. I think the psyop is making us feel like there's nothing that we can do. And they want us to feel that way. They want us to feel the despair of like, well, I see everything that's going on. I'm upset about everything that's going on, but what can I do? Nothing. Wah, 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 wah. And I think that psychology is something that I want to untangle, deprogram, reimagine within the confines of today's podcast, because I think there's actually a fuck ton we can do. I think there's a lot we can do. Hello, we can be doing a lot. And I think when we fall into the narrative of like, you know, what do we do? What do we do? I don't know if you ever saw that meme. You should look up the meme where the guy chugs the seltzer. Look up like seltzer chugging meme, okay? It's pretty popular. But he's like, have you ever chugged a whole seltzer? I don't know what the fuck he says. And then he chugs the seltzer and then he goes, like, he's like, there's like a gas. There's like, it's not necessarily a gag. It's like a gas. He's stuck in a gas portal that's like starting to shoot from his mouth hole. And he goes, what do I do? It kind of like within the confines of a burp. And then he gets so disoriented that he slams his face against a garage door. One of my favorite videos. I've watched it on repeat maybe 170 times throughout my life. Wonderful work, wonderful social commentary. But it's like he over ingests and then he's like, what do I do? And then he just slams his face into a garage door. I don't know if this was orchestrated. I don't know if this was like purely an act of authentic expression of what one does when they've ingested too much soda pop. But it's one of the most profound pieces of work I've ever seen. It belongs at the MoMA. So this is what we're all doing, is like we're ingesting the soda pop of the quote unquote news. Quote unquote, I always say quote unquote because I don't believe no fucking news source, but I do believe in genocide and I do believe in the Epstein list and I do believe that Jeffrey Epstein's still alive. So you know what I'm saying. We are overwhelmed by the soda pop of the current reality, and then we're like, what did I do? We're just slamming our heads up against garage doors. And I'm telling you, right motherfucking now, there's actually a lot we can be doing. So let's start with the Jeffrey Epstein thing. Can you stop sex trafficking amongst the elites? If you know some elites, you can. If you're in the industry that's rubbing shoulders with the elites, then yeah, you can. You can. However, if you don't have access to elites and you're like, well, how do I contribute to the stopping of sex trafficking? You could just like truly go outside and talk to your neighbor who probably has molested their children. Okay, the amount of molesto that's happening in this country is unfathomable. And one of the things that's really interesting is that the largest purchasers of child pornography is fathers. So that's upsetting. That's not something I wanted to say out loud or to be real, but it is. So you want to stop sex trafficking pedo rings amongst the elite? Well, let's just talk about the pedo in our back door. Why don't you talk about the pedo within your own family? I don't think any family is untouched by pedo. It's somewhere in your family. So address it there. And if it's not in your family, it's in your partner's family. The pedo in the family structure is very loud. Also, religious institutions, the church. I mean, the amount of friends I had who grew up in the Christian cult, I say that with respect, but they call it the Christian cult, not me, okay? The friends I have that self-identify as growing up in an evangelical Christian cult say that they experienced a lot of assault in that context. And what did they do? It got covered up. It got pushed away. They weren't believed. The people involved were protected. All right. So if you're have any proximity to these institutions, you can investigate the world of pedo in there. You can go to your child's school and see who needs help. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is that within our own microcosm of existence, pedo, also grape culture, women you know that have been raped, men that you know that have been raped, any gender that has been raped, you know them, they're everywhere. They are everywhere. So are you able to stop Jeffrey Epstein's island? No, but can you be actively involved with the people in your community that are either dealing with grape or healing from grape and pedo? Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. So that's something to think about. Okay, that's number one. Let's talk about Ice Ice Baby. I think the most effective strategy so far in dealing with ICE has been the citizen interference. It's not, look, this is the problem with ICE, all right? There are a lot of financial incentives for these people. There is their salary, there is a bounty, they get bonuses, whether or not they're picking up quote unquote illegal immigrants or people who are legally in the country. It doesn't matter. There is no discrepancy, and they will get the bonus regardless. So there's a lot of financial incentives around Ice Ice Baby. So do you know anyone who's in this job field? That's something you could do. You could talk them out of it. You could help them get another job, okay? The other thing we can do is just to continue to do the citizen interference, because that is effective. It's the only effective thing. It's like, the problem with the system is the same thing as like any cult, right? It's like a cult leader isn't going to be like, oh, turns out this cult isn't working for everybody in the cult. Maybe I should dismantle it. No, the cult works for the cult leader. That is who the cult works for the most. So the leaders of the cult of the system that we currently exist in, they're not going to be like, oh, this isn't working for everybody else. Let me just restructure this. No, they're not going to do that. No, they're never going to do that. That's why I keep talking about the system being the problem. I've said this like 70,000 times. I mean, when I go back to my old videos from like 9 years ago, it's like, oh, I'm saying the same thing over and over and over again for a decade. I just like say it in a different way. Maybe I use a different body part. Maybe I try to think of a new dick metaphor in order to get my fucking point across. The amount of times I've tried to just figure out how a dick will inspire you to listen to me is It's a lot. It's a lot of dicks. Why do I talk about dicks so much? Why not? I think they're a funny organ. Deserve our attention. I talk about the yoni a lot too. Vag, labes, fallopian tubes, a vas deferens. I know about anatomy. I know about an ovary. I know about a scrotum. I know about what is that hole in the man's hole that looks like a little mouth? The man's penis hole. It really does look like a mouth, and you could put an M&M in there. If I were a man, would I do that? I don't know. You couldn't put an M&M all the way in the hole, but you could put it in the mouth. He could hold an M&M. I think that's a niche of porn that should be started. Is just like men holding things in their pee hole. Just little things, not something that's gonna hurt it or stretch it. Just something reasonable. Like maybe even some could do a flash drive. You know? What else could you put in that pee hole? Not a dime. But does it, when it closes back up, you know, it's like, does it hold? Would it hold the object? You know, that's the question. That's the question I can't answer because I don't have a dick. But how did I get here? How did I get here? Oh, probably because I was talking about dicks. Huh. Interesting. But, you know, I think if women are supposed to be putting things in their vaginas all the time, we should definitely get guys to put things in their little pee hole mouths. And then they should hold things up for us and show us what's possible. I don't even know what's possible. Let me know. Drop it in the comments. Oh, let's do a little advertisement for me in the middle of this podcast. Are you in my Patreon? Are you up in the guts of my Patreon? Are you looking into it? Look, all the free content I give y'all, you're subscribed to some stupid thing that you don't even care about. So just subscribe to this one. What's the big deal? Go download one of those apps that's like telling you all the things that you're subscribed to. And I guarantee there's a couple of really dumb ones. And so find those, get out of those, and then give that money to me. I think that's fair. I think that's a reasonable ask. Also, my show Grape Culture is going to be in Boston, September 11th in Somerville at the Rockwell Theater. And then I'm going to go to Philadelphia for the last weekend of September. So I'm going to put the ticket links in my linky tree. And I'm going to be doing grape culture then too. I'm going to be graping. September is a month of grape for me in Boston and in Philly. And then I'm going to be in New York, October 5th. All right, so I'm going to be dropping links soon. Anyway, back to dicks, back to politics. Okay. Oh, you want to hear something really funny? Politics, the root poly means many, and then tick is a blood-sucking parasite. So politics is just many blood-sucking parasites. Something to think about. So Ice Ice Baby. Oh, that's where I was at. Is like there are things you can do about Ice Ice Baby. You don't have to just sit here. And also, my friends, the reason why I'm always getting censored is because I am in the minority of people that are posting about this stuff. I'm in the minority of people who are talking about this stuff. If the social media platforms were flooded with this kind of information, they couldn't censor it to the same degree now, could they? It's called economy of scale, right? And there's something powerful about an economy of scale. So if you're like, I only have 200 followers, who cares what I say? The 200 people who are following you, bitch, they care what you fucking say. How about they're following you? They care about your opinions about ICE more than they care about whether or not you went to the fair, you know? So share your political opinions on your social media platform, even if you have just your friends and family that are following. Who gives a fuck? You don't have to be no fucking influencer. Who the fuck's an influencer anyway? Fucking influencer. Fuck that shit. Fuck it, fuck it, fuck it. Even if you have 10 followers, those 10 people should know you care about this stuff. Talk about it. Share it. Because that is what we need. We need an economy of scale. We need an influx. We need a sea change of people that refuse to shut up about Jeffrey Epstein, ICE, and the genocide. Oh, let's can't forget Congo, corporate corruption, the end of capitalism, the need to restructure the police state, all of these things. Share it every fucking day. I'm not saying it has to become your whole identity. You can also share about going to the fair, all right? I wasn't trying to shit on you if you're like, I'm having fun at the fair, Tony. People should see. God is blessed. They should see. But you can post more than once a day. And you're not going to the fair every fucking day, all right? And if you are, you have a really good life. And that means you should definitely be posting about genocide. So I think that's the other thing that's really important, is that the constant conversation actually is important. It may seem a little like, I'm talking about this again. Yeah, we are, because it's still going on. And you have to talk about something until it changes, because that's how shit works. That's why people go to therapy, because they get bored hearing about themselves talk about something. Okay, what else is there? Genocide. All right, look, there are things you can do about genocide. Number one, you can get in contact with people who are in Gaza and you can support them financially. I have someone, her name is Aya. There is a link on my link tree. It's like help a Palestinian mother. You can send her money. And like, yeah, the exchange rate is in kroners. All right, it's in some stupid currency, but you can go to Google, take you 4 seconds and be like, how much is a kroner to $1 US? And it'll tell you. And then you could say, cool, I'm gonna give this chick $50 or $100 or $150 because she's a real person. I've been communicating with her over a year and she wants to get out of Gaza, but guess what? She's imprisoned. She can't. And it is very hard to eat. Everyone knows they're starving, but you can have a personal relationship with people in Gaza and you can personally and financially support them. I'm going to try to help her get papers, but I am not a diplomat. All I can do is get her on Zoom and like go through the process of like Canadian immigration and pray that they take her. But I can send money in the meantime. Even though the money is like fucking corrupt over there, she still gets access to it and she still does feed herself and her daughter. Her name is Aya. She's a person. Go to my link tree. Send her some money. That's something you can do. You can also cultivate your own relationships to people in Gaza. You can do it. And what is your relationship to the corporations that you're supporting? I mean, I have said this over and over and over again, but you can't be going to Whole Foods, my dude. You can't be supporting Amazon. You can't be getting Crest. You can't be getting Tide. You have to, I mean, obviously we have this whole Spotify fucking bullshit, and the Spotify thing is a problem. The tech companies are a problem. I understand. Yes, I'm on an iPhone. Maybe you're hearing this on Spotify. Maybe you're hearing this on Apple, and like they also support genocide. Yes, they do. I understand the complexity. But I don't have an alternative to broadcast my stuff beyond my iPhone fucking world. So we are stuck. But we can make demands of Apple. And in the meantime, I don't have to go to fucking Whole Foods now, do I? No, I don't, and neither do you. Because there's some stupid hippie co-op in your area, and maybe it's 10 minutes farther, and maybe they're annoying, and maybe it smells like patchouli, and maybe the person that's working the bulk section has a beard, and maybe their beard hair gets into the nuts. I don't know. At our co-op, there was a woman that was actively peeing in the bulk section. She was doing it for some sort of, I think, porno content, and it was a national news story in Keene, New Hampshire, at the Monadnock Food Co-op. A woman was peeing in the bulk section. Did I ingest this woman's pee? Probably 100% I did. But does that mean I'm gonna go to Whole Foods? No. I'll take co-op employee pee any day over supporting the genocide of Whole Foods, which is owned by Amazon, okay? So are you gonna sometimes ingest pee if you go to your local co-op? Potentially, but will you be supporting genocide less? Yeah, you will. Is it worth it? I think so. A little pee never hurt anybody, except for maybe I got a bacterial infection from it. I'll never know, but I've healed. So I think my point is that we have to stop like being like, no, we have to be emboldened. We have to be in action. We have to be supporting each other. We have to be pushing each other. And if this is sounding pejorative / condescending, my bad, not my intention. I'm talking to myself as well. All right, my dude, like I'm not just being like, I'm perfect and you need to do the work. No, fuck that. I need to do the work as well. I have to argue with my daughter all the time about how we cannot support genocide because she wants to go to fucking Target. And I have to get into active arguments with a 15-year-old girl who I am afraid of. But I'm like, we can't support genocide. Hook, line, and sinker. Starbucks, can't go to Starbucks. Can't go to McDonald's. Just can't fucking do it. Also, Starbucks, really bad for you. McDonald's, don't even need to get into it. There's human meat in McDonald's. You're eating Soylent Green, all right? Don't believe me? Get on TikTok, 3 in the morning. Look it up. Look it up. There's human meat in McDonald's. There's human meat in all your fast food. You want to be eating human? I don't think so. All right. And look, if we all started supporting small, stupid, hippie companies, it would make a difference. It would also affect the economy of scale. I go back to the economy of scale. All right. If you have the income, all right, I understand some of you might be like, I don't have the income to go to no fucking hippie company. All right. God is blessed. All right. I hear you. I'm not shaming you. But anyone that has any disposable income to go to another company, do it. Just fucking do it. Don't dick around. Just make the effort, even if it's 15 minutes out of your way. Do it. And you also have to research everything you're buying, because as I've gone on and on and on about, things are owned by bigger companies, the monopoly within the monopoly within the monopoly within the monopoly. So we have to do our research. And is it boring? No, it's actually not that boring. It's kind of interesting. And what else are you doing that's that interesting? No one is that interesting. We're all just kind of like, oh, man, oh, let me get up and let me eat breakfast. And it's like, you can do this. We can do this. And I think we have to really hold each other accountable. We have to hold ourselves accountable. And we have to feel like, no. I'm not going to fucking fall into this like trappings of like, there's nothing we can do, the elite. It's like, yeah, there's a lot we can do. And again, I go back to the whole fucking thing. Obviously, there's a lot of drama with AOC. Obviously. But I already talked about this. What did I say? I already called it. AOC, Mamdani, these are just human beings who are corrupted by a system. They had good intentions. They get into the system. They become corrupted because that is the nature of the system. I refuse to believe that everyone that's within the system came in a broken individual. No, they break you as part of the initiation into the system. That's what they do. And as much as these people like AOC and Mamdani are trying to hold on to their humanity, it is very difficult. It is very difficult to achieve within the chokehold of a system that is designed to strip you of your humanity, because that is what it takes to function, which is why capitalism, no. Our current political regime, no. Democracy, a fucking farce, all right? It ain't happening. Listen to my other podcasts where I go on and on and on and on about it so I don't have to repeat myself, because I don't want you to get bored of me saying the same thing over and over again. But at times I say it over and over again because why? We must hear it. All right. Yeah, I hope that was inspirational. Maybe it was not. Maybe it was, though. I think it was. I'm inspired. I'm going to get my period tomorrow. At least I feel like it's coming because I have that edge. I have that je ne sais quoi. And tomorrow is the new moon in Leo. Oh, do a fucking ritual. Why don't you do a ritual in the new moon in Leo? What is the new moon in Leo all about? Leo, the lion. What is the lion? It's about me. It's about wanting to be seen, wanting to be heard, performing. Dun 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 dun. Like, bring that Leo energy into your life. Bring that Leo vibe into the way that you do your activism, into your family. Oh, someone in your family is sick of you talking about the patriarchy? Guess what? You're going to talk about it tomorrow morning at breakfast. The amount of times people are probably sick of hearing me talk about the patriarchy or capitalism or grape culture or ICE, like, actually, I don't know. I mean, probably my daughter mostly, but like, she gets it. She motherfucking gets it because I won't shut up about it. So, I think you should do a ceremony for the new moon that's emboldening you, Leo style, to bring your activism, to bring your politics, to bring your morals, to bring your values out into center stage. Yas! Kickball chain, pas de bourrée, turn, leap, and down. I feel like that would be the choreography I would wanting to be seen you do. 1, 2, 3, thrust, and a chest bump. Yeah, stuff like that, you know? All right, I think I've done what I came here to do today. I love you. I love you. Oh, rate, review, share this podcast. For the love of fucking the goddess, like, I ask you to do this. Will you do this for me, please? Actually, one of you wrote me a really nice email that was like, I want to help you, which even them asking me meant something. And then I got overwhelmed and I was like, you're perfect, do nothing. I mean, I'm an idiot. I do need help. So if you ask me to help me and then I like answer in a strange way, it's because like I got overwhelmed with emotion and I don't know how to receive help or anything. But follow the Patreon, support the Patreon, and go to my link tree. I have to post these ticket links. I'll probably post them by the end of the week, okay? Something about posting ticket links is oppressive to me. Oh yeah, I'm waiting for the flyers to be finished. That's what I was doing. All right, I love you. Bye.